Good morning and welcome to a sunny Heathrow Terminal 2. Up bright and early and on my way to the home of the gods, or rather the resting place of the gods. Join me on a Scandinavian adventure. So I found a quietish spot at the airport, so this is a good opportunity to tell you about this trip. I'm going to a place of deep significance to Norse pagans. It's allegedly the burial place and former home of Thor, Odin and Freyr, so three of the chief gods of Norse mythology. Other legends suggest that there are Yngling kings buried at this place, and it was once the capital of Sweden. Its significance is mentioned in numerous historical sources. The place I'm going to also was noted for sacrifices, human and animal, so you may have guessed where I'm heading. But stay tuned to find out.
Upright and the island emergency exit free of cabin baggage until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Please be careful when opening overhead compartments.
So I'm just trying to work out my way how to get out of the airport now. What brings you to Sweden? Asked the customs lady. I'd like to film and take photos of your Norse pagan sites, please. So I imagine they don't hear that one every day, but there we are. So I'm now just looking for the train station, railway station as we say in Britain. But I'm in Sweden, so I suppose it's a train station. So I'm at Stockholm Arlanda Airport. I'm heading to Uppsala. So this is the place to get tickets. Let's have English, I think. So I haven't got a ticket yet because I think that one just goes straight to Stockholm. This is a very cool station. It's like a cave. but it goes very deep, and I don't want to get there and not have a ticket, but I'm still going to think we'll have to have a look and see what they say, if there's a little kiosk or something down there. So wish me luck. I see a yellow sign saying buy tickets here, but it's yet another machine, so I need to talk to a human. Okay, so I've successfully negotiated the train situation. I'm now at Arlanda Central, on my way down. Apparently it takes about 19 minutes to Uppsala from here, so it's looking good. Swedes, like the dwarves of old, have built everything underground. These escalators are enormous. Well, here I am. In Svartalfheim, otherwise known as Arlanda Central Station. Not many going to Uppsala.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform when you exit the train.
So here I am in a cold and rainy Uppsala. You can just see some towers there from a nearby cathedral. So we're in the right place, looking good. And here is the Utgang, or exit. So we are here. Central Uppsala. It's an interesting piece of modern art with a seagull on top of it. Välkommen till Uppsala. So I've just walked down a couple of extremely uninspiring looking streets, and I'm now looking for the hotel I'm staying at, which is called the Grand Hotel Hornen. Which sounds very nice. I know it's by the river, so I have ventured my way here, going downhill, bit of orienteering there, and now I'm just looking for the hotel, which I think is this way. Still looking for the hotel, but I've just noticed this lovely building here. Thought I'd capture that. It's a real mishmash of old and new architecture. So distracted by that building behind me that I just showed you a minute ago, I managed to walk straight past the hotel. So I've consulted the Oracle, aka Waze, and I'm in the right place now because it's there. The Grand Hotel Hornan. Very nice. Here we are. Room 329. There we go, right at the end. The moment of truth. Wow, it's small lodgings, And an even smaller bed. Okay, I'm 6'4", that's going to be interesting. And a view of a car park and some cranes. Beautiful. So I'm here in my fairly sparse but hospitable quarters. Got a nice welcome from the guy downstairs. It's a perfectly pleasant hotel room. Everything seems to be in order. My plan for this video is to be a main vlog of the trip, so to capture the travelling and some of the highlights and some of the problems maybe if there are any. So that's this video. I've just noticed that the castle is actually open until 8 PM tonight, which is a Thursday. So I'm going to visit that now, well, in a few minutes after I've had a shower, and check that out and do individual videos on the individual historic sites here. There are a few that have caught my eye already. Castle is number one, so we'll see you there. Welcome to Uppsala Castle, or as the locals say, Välkommen till Uppsala slott. So there you go. This is the rain-swept edifice that holds the Gunilla bell. It was cast in 1588. street name with a pagan influence, if ever there was one. Good morning from Uppsala. This is New Uppsala. Today I'm going to Old Uppsala, or Gamla Uppsala, which is the site of some incredible burial mounds. So I was going to get a taxi there, but I looked on one of the tourist maps and it says that you can actually get a bus in about 10-15 minutes, something like that, from near the central station where I got dropped off yesterday. So I'm heading to the bus station now. Okay, so we've got some slightly confusing issues here. The fact that I'm looking for a number 2 on this, so it says 9, 10, 100, 11, all that on the left. But there isn't a single number 2 on there. So who does number 2 work for? Not for me, clearly. Okay, so bus issues are persisting. I've spoken to a driver who pointed me in this direction, but I didn't really understand what he was saying, to be honest. So I've gone over there and there's basically nothing to see. So with that in mind, I think there's buses everywhere, but none of them go to what you would think would be the primary tourist attraction of this city. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to have to resort to Uber. So here we are at Gamla Uppsala with these burial mounds behind me. I got a taxi in the end, and it's quite tragic really about history, because everyone I've spoken to about this place over here has not really known anything about it. Some people, you sort of say Gamla Uppsala, and I think there must be a shop or something called that, and they just think of that. But this is sort of 10 minutes outside the city centre and no one seems to have any idea. It's tragic. So legend has it that this is the burial place of the mortal remains of Odin, one of the royal mounds in Gamla Uppsala. This next mound is allegedly where Freyr is buried, and the one just behind it, Thor. Now there are other legends, of course, that the kings of the Heilung dynasty are buried here. What we do know about this place is it was clearly burial places for high status individuals. It's been dated to around 500 AD, but one of the bodies excavated here did not belong to a man, it belonged to a woman. There's conjecture about whether or not she was the focus of the burial. Which is probably unlikely. She was most likely sacrifice to join someone in the afterlife, but who knows. The area here to the side of the mounds is a bit of a mystery also. It's been suggested that it could have been an arena for ritual horse racing. So to give you an idea of where this is, you can see the castle there in Uppsala and the cathedral towers. So this mound in front of me is known as Thor's Mound, and it was excavated in 1874. A number of objects were taken out and are currently stored within the Gamla Uppsala Museum, which is behind me. It was dated to around 575 to 625 AD, and the man was buried in clothes interwoven with gold thread. He had several exclusive gold items, some with garnets and onyx cameos coming from as far away as Byzantium. So it's likely that whoever was interred here was part of a local royal lineage, and as was often the case, royals would embellish their genealogical history much the same way as people claim Viking descent because they've found 3 or 4% Scandinavian DNA in their after they've done an ancestry test. But they would essentially claim that they were descended from the gods, and the early Anglo-Saxons, actually, the monarchs all claimed descent from Odin or Woden because he was euhemerized, i.e. Made into a man from a god, effectively relegated from god to just high status man. So I'm just walking behind the first two mounds here now, Odin's mound and Freyr's mound, which is the one in front of me. Because I'm going to have a look now at the old church here at Gamla Uppsala in typical fashion when a new religion takes over the old one. They build their temples on top of the older temples, as has been the case here. So this grove here in front of me was allegedly the site of a tree known as Yggdrasil, the world tree from ancient Norse mythology, and it was the site of, allegedly, a number of sacrifices of humans, animals. However, excavations in 2013 failed to actually uncover any evidence of sacrifice. So I'm just doing some filming around here in the churchyard, Gamla Uppsala churchyard, and I saw something coming out in the corner of my eye, which was seemingly enormous, coming straight towards me, and I thought it was a dog or something. It was certainly the size of a dog, and then I realised it has distinctly rabbit-like features, and I've never actually seen a hair in the flesh before. It ran straight past me. It was absolutely enormous. It's a powerful looking creature. I'd never actually seen one up close before. Thankfully I was filming, so I managed to capture it running past me. So I'm not one for ornithology, really, but two black birds are in the tree here and have just been right next to this mound, which think is Odin's mound. So anyone who knows, Odin had two ravens, Hugin and Munin, or Thought and Memory. So that was quite funny. I'm just leaving Thor's mound, which is behind me. There's the other two there. And this group of British girls came up and started reading the information board. And it's mentioning bears and things like that. And they're saying, it's midsummer. So... yeah, that movie has left a bit of an indelible impression on certain people about Scandinavian ritual practices. Okay, so I'm leaving Gamla Uppsala now. Having failed miserably to get a bus here, I've managed to get one back. So I couldn't really have failed because there's only one bus stop. So there we go. I'm now back in Uppsala. It's my favourite building. And after visiting Gamla Uppsala church and learning about the legend of Saint Eric, I'm going to go to the cathedral where apparently his bones, the relics, are kept. So yeah, going in search of the bones of St. Eric. Well, there is Eric. Let's see if we can find his bones. This is the most realistic mannequin I've ever seen. I thought it was just a woman standing very still for about 30 seconds. And so here they are, the relics of St. Eric. Sanctus Ericus Rex et Martyr. In this gold casket. So I've just left the cathedral and I've seen this symbol on the wall next to me, which is Eriksleden, Uppsala Domkyrka, Gamla Uppsala Kyrka. So there's a walk you can do which links the original cathedral at Gamla Uppsala, now just the old church at Gamla Uppsala, and the cathedral, which is at the top of these steps, and links the two, which is quite nice. So one final piece of St. Eric trivia is this water pump behind me. I think this was a sacred spring which was said to have sprung up when where his head landed. I think I read that earlier, I will confirm. But I've just given it a pump, and with this. And I was quite brutal with it, and no water came out, so there we go. Well, you asked me for miracles, and I gave you the guys over the road who said that it's done in a pendulum-like motion, and there it is, the holy water of St. Eric. Well, it's the last evening now in Uppsala, so I'm just heading out to get something to eat. Not sure what yet. Probably Burger King, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's been a great trip. Interesting place, and it's good to see the place on Friday night now. Get an idea of how busy it is, or otherwise. It's supposed to be a university town, so I imagine there'll be some liveliness, although the price of the drinks might exclude that a little bit. Good morning from a gloriously sunny Uppsala on my balcony, which the sun has finally come out the day I'm going home, which is great. But such is life. Just give you a little glimpse of the panoramic views there. So yeah, the plan is now to check out of here, head over to the station, which is only about 400 meters away, so it's not going to take me very long, so I'm going to have plenty of time to play with, which is good because I don't really want to miss the flight. But yeah, it's been a great trip. I've noticed this a few times while I've been here, this sort of Knights Templar cross. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I'm going to do a bit of research when I get back, I think, because that is very interesting. Oh, and here we are. Here's the answer. The Bank of Sweden. The Templars obviously started out modern banking. This building was designed by Ulrich and Hallqvist in 1901 to 1904, in addition to the Bank of Sweden. In 1905 to 66, it also housed the main post office for the city, and also for a time a telegraph office. Later the building was used by the moderate Swedish Conservative Party and Uppsala University. At present the Masonic Order have their premises here. Wow. And there we go, there's a Knights Templar cross. So I've checked out of the hotel, and even though I've kind of dressed for winter and it's now bright sunshine, spring has finally arrived in Sweden, it looks like. I'm quite pleased it's sunny because I've got about an hour and something to kill, so I wouldn't want to do that in the kind of drizzle that we've had for the last few days. And God, the place just looks so much more inviting with a bit of sunshine. This city was really quite drab in all the gloom, but yeah, I mean, Gamla Uppsala, I think it almost helped to give it a moody atmosphere, but the city itself is really benefiting from a bit of sunshine. I've had to kill the volume on this little part of the video because I don't want the Caesars jerk it out to be the reason this video gets claimed. But I just went to the station and there's a load of people for some reason dressed as cows and dancing. I don't know why. So I overheard a couple of Brits talking the other night about how Swedes are quite solitary people, don't like sort of strangers sitting near them. I mean, no one does really, but these chairs kind of illustrate the point. Another little bit of trivia here. I've noticed this place is called Olof Palmes Platz. Olof Palmes was the Prime Minister of Sweden who was assassinated on his way home from the cinema in 1986. So there we go, in Stockholm. So this is a bit of a memento to him. Interesting Swedish confectionery names. We have Block and Saltskog. So I've successfully secured a ticket from this far more simple machine here than the previous one I tried to use. So now I'm at the station. I'm just going to board the train to Arlanda Central, which is connected to the airport. Platform 7B, so 4 to 7, so there we go, Spa 7B. And there's the train. It looks like it's one of these fun European double-decker trains, so that's cool.
Hjälp oss gärna.
Okay, that was close. I nearly ended up in Stockholm because the train stopped here at Arlanda Central and it stopped for about 30 seconds, so have your wits about you if you want to get off. Yeah, the lift doesn't work. Well, as you can see, I'm fully merched up and heading to gate F65, which sounds like it's miles away. Well, it looks like this is my home for the next couple of hours. Well, I'm back where I started, Heathrow Terminal 2. It was a great flight actually, over some quite interesting historical sites. There was the wind farm, which is actually at Dogger Bank, which is on top of Doggerland, the ancient Mesolithic landscape, so it was nice to fly over that. A few London landmarks as well on the way there. So if anyone's watched this far and has come on this adventure with me, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. Bye for now.